Elijah Widger. Uh, Put that thing to sit right there. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I doubt it. What's up, Big Mike? Hey, I got one about 12, but he was absolutely covered in mud. I mean, mud. I can't get my phone. I don't have a daggone holder for my phone, so I just got it sitting on the steering wheel next to my coffee jug. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Somebody wants to do this. Guest, invite, copy, boom, boom, post comment. There. If anybody knows if propane gets cold, why it won't turn back to gas. I got a jug, a tank of propane here, and it's been sitting outside. The jug is full because I've only used it one time. It's turned off. I know it's full because daggone, it's heavy. You can hear it sloshing around in there, but it will not light. For the record, I'm gonna catch a catfish tonight. I did already. Missed two already. Caught one. And I was just doing what they call a drift. I put like 5 rods out and just drug the bottom, just barely, just drifting with whatever the lake took me. And we kind of got close to this bank over here, and I said, I'm going to anchor off here. Because I left my fish finder at home, but it don't do me no good, so. Come on, Danny. I know you want the gossip. Get up here. So about to put 2 anchors out, and I'm just sitting here in the middle. A very, very light breeze. When I caught that one slow drift, there was no breeze. No, there wouldn't. No, 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 no. Wow. Supposed to get down about 30 tonight. Can't get the heater to work. I'm done drunk half my coffee. Probably a short night because I can't fish the rest of the weekend. I got things to do. Who is that texting me? Oh, it's my wife has left home. Mike, I believe something. I believe there is an 80 pounder in this lake. I really do. There's been too many 60s and 70s caught for not to be an 80. I believe it's just a matter of time out here before the right bait hits the right spot on the right rod, and somebody gonna get an 80 out of here. Cause that's just the way I like it. I ain't got my glasses either, so Cody, I see yours. So I'm going out in the morning. Stony. I need Cody or Shirley to come up and talk gossip. David, you want to come up and gossip? We talk about people. Seems to be the theme of YouTube. Let's talk about people. Because them little bitty words on that little bitty screen don't really fly right now. I can't see nothing. So, Black Betty, bam, lamb. Danny, I know where there's a Black Betty at for me. It's probably at least 12. I think if I got one that big, I'd put a spinning rod on it. I don't think I'd put me a bait caster on it. I got a perfect spinning rod just for that, a big sun gun. Matter of fact, it's in that door right there. I seen one other little bitty old John boat come through. I bet it ain't a 10-foot John boat. Little V bottom, silver aluminum John boat, probably 1960s model. I hadn't seen one like that in a long time. Them boys, two big old boys in it. And I said, them's got to be some brave cats as cold as it's supposed to get in that little bitty boat. Or they just stupid like me. Danny Stone says, hang on, I'm trying to read here. Yes, sir, I am fishing alone, Cody. A rod that size, I only use spinning rods on. Okay. Man, it was $12.99 up there at the pawn shop. I'm going to go back and get it just so I can have one that long. I've never had a rod like that. If I go back to fishing from the bank, sure, it's got to help. It had some kind of old reel on it. It didn't have a name on it nowhere, though. The rod didn't. I mean, I did kind of turn it around, reach it, because it was in a big barrel of all kinds of rods for sale. I just reached in there and looked at it and seen it, and it said $12.99. I was like, oh, man. Oh, to get that right now. Stupid me. Sure didn't. I won't be here much longer. Smoke situation gets into serious, dire situations here if I get nervous catching a big fish. I got to have at least two for that. I know that little 12-pounder cost me two, so probably three for the big one. I don't know if I should have just kept continued drifting or not, because I caught that one right when I was drifting. Just letting everything just slow crawl across the bottom. And I've been checking I ain't got my depth finder, but I know the depth of this lake. But I've been watching the lines, and if they get any slack at all, I just kind of bump it up just a little bit and let it back down, whatever. Could have swore I just heard a line being pulled. I got three rods in behind the camera here that's just suspended down. The clickers on them ain't where they did the squat loudness. Loud, they're not loud at all. where the camera's sitting at. If I get a bite, I'll probably jump up, it'll fall. It won't go in the water, thank God. I ain't putting it nowhere near the edge of the boat ever again. Ever. I mean, I guess I could take the camera up there and click it to that daggone pole. Somebody had to come in and read chat for sure then, because it'd be way up there behind me. God, that would go in the water. I ain't doing that. No. Don't do it, Lee. I just got a feeling with this cold front coming in. It took me a little over an hour, probably almost an hour and a half to even find the shad. And they was up in about 20 foot of water. Well, I don't have my fish finder. I couldn't see them or nothing. So I was just sitting there and I just said, I'm just going to sit here if I see anything popping. And I looked over in the mouth of this creek. There's it goes from 24 feet up to about 14 feet, like a little slow creep up. And they was right on that 20-foot mark there where that starts going up. So I threw the net out there, and I think 5 times, and I got 30 of them. And they're anywhere between, well, most of them's, ow, about that size there. I mean, it's a good shad, I think. I don't know if anybody else is live or not, but I just want to do my live thing while I'm fishing. Because God forbid I catch something and it ain't live. I know a couple people will throw a hissy fit. Eric. Somebody click that daggone link. Well, Danny and Cody just arm wrestled for it. Well, Danny, just turn your camera off. Just talk. Your voice is so soothing. God, it's like a little baby cooing in the arms of an angel. Ooh, ooh, Danny. Ooh, I love you, Danny. I love you, Danny Stone. If you come up, I'll buy you lunch at CatCon. Now, you can't pass up a deal like that. My choice, though. It won't be White Castles or nothing. And I promise not to hug you at CatCon. I can't see. Ronnie Oakley. Jody in here? Dang, Stone that coming up on. Yes, you. I can't see. I can't even see chat. It's little bitty words blurred together. You fuckers gonna get old one of these days. Y'all understand? Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry. I cursed. I apologize, Cody. If you got it on TV and the kids around, tell them that nasty mouth Lee. Hey, how did surgery go today, Cody? I hope the little fella come out smiling and begging for ice cream. David Smith, hello there, sir. Jody can come up. Anybody want to come up? I don't care. You know me. I don't care. Boy, the Coyotes is giving it yin yang back there. Two different packs. But I'm gonna pull an Uncle Lou. And I'm gonna sit right the chair. I ain't moving. I lied. I'll probably be moving here for a while. I want to get closer to the bank. It's about 26, 28 foot deep right here where I'm at. And if I go another 50 foot in front of the boat, it runs up to about 18 to 20 foot. If that's where them shad was at, then there's a good chance. But I don't know. I caught that one right over here. And then bites right over here. About 26 foot deep. 28, I'd say. And he was covered in mud. I mean, I never seen a fish have so much mud on his back and his belly. Everything was on him was mud. I thought it was a big old channel there for a minute. Just by the color of it. I got to looking at it. None of the blue. Howdy. Ooh, cuckoo Compton. How you feeling, little buddy?
How you feeling, man? He's still loopy from the anesthesia. They said it'd take 24 hours for it to fully wear off.
Yeah.
Oh.
I asked somebody to come up, and three of them came up at once.
Yeah, I can't stay up.
Oh, Compton, I'll say a prayer for you, little buddy.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. He don't look like he feels well at all.
Did Daddy get you some ice cream?
Yeah, I bought him some ice cream. He was fine. He was loopy as all get out. Couldn't walk. His legs were like noodles, but he wasn't hurting. Thumbed up. But now all the numbing stuff in his throat's wore off.
Yeah, they say it's like a pretty bad severe throat. I've never had to have it done, but none of my kids either. But they say it's like a bad sore throat.
Yeah, he had tonsils and both cut out. So hopefully it takes care of the strep throat. This last time he got back to his bloodstream, which is pretty dangerous. So we had to do something to kind of nip it in the bud. What's up, man?
Hey, y'all keep cutting out on me. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Cody's cutting out on me.
Okay, I didn't know if it was me or him. My internet's been acting crazy. They're supposed to have a technician come, but it may be a month from now.
Hey, all that windstorms we had, they say there's lines down out in the middle fields and woods everywhere.
Yeah, ours has been messed up for about 4 or 5 days now. All right, let's see here. Ronnie Oakley says, "Where are you fishing at, Lee?"
I'm fishing at Will Green Lake in Richmond, Kentucky, sir. I swore up and down I wasn't gonna come back out here this year, but
We all knew that was a lie.
we come out here the other day and caught a couple fish, and then Jim come out here and caught a couple fish, and then I seen another boy that come out here and he caught a couple good fish all in 5 days.
Yeah.
But I come out here and the weather drops, the temperature drops. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this morning was a real good time to fish. The pressure was pretty stable. The weather was decent.
Yeah.
Well, that front's dropping in like crazy. I mean, that wind was blowing pretty daggone rough earlier. Now it's just a light breeze. I mean, barely.
But you know what makes tonight a great time to go fishing?
What's that?
Because you can.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I totally 100% agree with that.
I keep up with all the weather stuff, but it doesn't dictate when I go or not. I go when I can.
Exactly.
I like knowing the stuff just because I feel like it might help me pattern some fish or something. But and just to be more knowledgeable because I find it interesting. But I'm gonna go whether the conditions are bad or good.
Well, I
Well,
wasn't going to go tonight. I was going to go tomorrow. Then me and Amy got to talking. Where Tristan's, I think he is his official signing date is Tuesday.
yeah, I always like it when guys say they ain't going fishing because, the barometric pressure ain't right, or it's too cold, it's too windy, and I talk them into going anyway, and we catch a bunch of fish. And it just destroys all their little theories.
I mean,
Well,
I'm almost positive that all of it plays a role, but it doesn't mean
Oh,
that you won't catch fish.
exactly. Because some days you can go out there and you're going to catch them no matter what it's doing. If those fish are hungry and they want to bite, they'll bite. Now, go ahead, Cody.
No, I was just gonna say, and it's so monotonous. We're looking at a few parameters, pressure, this, that for the moment, but the fish, it's so much more. Nature's so much more complicated than we could ever understand.
Oh, you know it. If
So,
here's the thing, and if you go strictly by those rules, you're going to knock yourself out of so many days of fishing, and it's not worth it.
right. But it does give you a good excuse whenever the fish kick your butt.
See, that's why you go anyway, because we don't. Well, I knew I wasn't going to catch nothing, but I wanted to come out here anyway because I love fishing.
Get to have that built-in excuse, and then when you do catch them, you say, "I caught them, even though it was a bad day." That's how good I am.
See, that me and you're on the same page now. Hey, there's Daryl from Trophy Seekers Outdoors.
How's it going, Daryl?
Yeah, you got Daryl in here, Ronnie Oakley, David Smith, of course, me and Cody.
Shirley T.
Okay, Shirley. Yeah, Shirley's in here. Daryl says, "Hey, Lee."
what's up, Darrell? Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear, buddy. Just shut up and fish.
And sometimes it kicks me out. This is Teddy Bear.
Hey, Daryl, how you doing, buddy?
Anytime somebody says something about, it not a good time to go fishing, and I always think about what old Richard Jean says.
Well,
go fishing when you can, because it's good for you.
That's right. Yep. I almost burned the dadgum house down a while ago.
Oh, heck.
I put about 2 or 3 squirrels in a pot of boiling water on the stove and forgot about them.
Was you making you some squirrels and gravy?
Yeah, I'm just going to boil them up and eat them, man, with salt and pepper on them.
Look here, Danny. I finally got it.
What'd you get? Let me see. Oh, yeah, baby.
I don't know. I didn't know. Did you hear me talk about propane a while ago?
Yeah, about it being so cold it wouldn't burn.
Yeah, is that right? Will it do that, like liquefy?
It has to be pretty dadgum cold for that propane not to work at all. It does affect it.
I ain't used it in forever. It's been sitting out there on the carport.
Yeah.
During all that super cold weather and everything.
And there's Lance McCoo guy come in.
The coolest name in bourbon fishing.
Yeah. Lance McCoo guy, the cool guy.
You don't feel good?
And Daryl's saying something, but as usual, he ain't making no sense at all.
It made sense to me. I got you one of those frozen yogurts in the freezer. The box of them wasn't, but I put it in the ice compartment trying to get it to freeze a little faster.
I talked how good the wind was blowing and right now it's blowing.
Yep, you screwed it up.
Daryl said, "We all know it's true."
Daryl don't know nothing.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. We know it's true. Daryl
Saying
can
a
answer
lot,
it's true.
saying a
Uh,
lot.
Just cause Daryl said it don't mean it's the truth.
if Daryl said it, you know that it's internet truth.
You can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man.
Uh,
Yep, and
Compton,
there ain't nothing on the internet that's false, is there?
No, it's all true.
Okay. And Lance Pacou guy said he's never had propane not work, and he's been in 40 below fishing.
The only
well, and this one, I shook it up real good, and now let it sit there for a minute, and it lit.
you know
Shook it
what?
up.
The only problem I've had with my tanks before is if I went and got them filled during the winter and then didn't use them until it was warm again, and then the lines freeze up because you can put more in them in the winter when it's cold out, and they build too much pressure and freeze over the regulators. That's the only issue I've ever had.
Well, she's working good and cranked up. I am enjoying the fall out of it.
I don't want your popsicle, baby. You eat it. No.
Hey, Compton, you know what else is real good for a sore throat?
What?
Ribeye.
That's cold blooded, man.
He, he say it. He does not like steak at all, and
What?
and I cook steak a lot because I love it. And first thing he said whenever he was woke up and we got to go back there with him, or maybe not the first, but within the first few sentences, he said, "I'm hungry. Can we have steak?" You can't have steak. You don't even like steak.
That's when you knew that boy was sick.
Blue.
Like some. Daryl said, "I heard Lee that time. Danny was choking on his chewing gum."
Nobody cares what Daryl says.
Danny, you going Friday and Saturday?
We're gonna get there probably. I'm gonna guess around noon Friday.
So yeah, you'll be here all day, both days, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna miss the half of the first day, but we'll be there for the first day.
I mean, you ain't missing nothing not being there bright and early Friday morning. I mean, you'll still see everybody, and all the same stuff will still be going on.
Yeah, I wish I could go Thursday, but there's no way I can take off 2 days work like that. I'd like to get up there Thursday and help Steve
Set up.
Douglas set up and help a couple of other guys, get their stuff in there and get it set up. But I just can't take off 2 days work. There's no way I can do it.
Yeah, I'll be up there early Friday. I can't go extra day because I can't take Cannon out of school extra day.
Yeah.
Cannon's going with me. Compton and Tally staying home.
I'm gonna leave.
No, you're not going. No,
Yeah.
it's kids with tonsils only allowed. You ain't got none.
Don't let him
Man,
lie
that's
to
just
you,
cold
Compton.
blooded.
Don't let him lie to you, Compton.
J Dog could take me.
Nah, we don't trust J Dog with kids.
They come out corrupted.
Lance, when it's cold out, the propane is denser, so you can definitely fit more poundage in one. You want to Google it? Google it.
Google that.
Well, I know a while ago it would not light, it wouldn't even come out. And I shook it up real good, turned it off, and shook it up, and let it sit there for about 20 minutes, and then
You gonna
tried
blow that
the
boat
gas
up.
come out. Huh?
Keep shaking that can, see what happens to you.
Well, you should have seen me and J Dog when he was up around the Licking River, and we was trying to get it lit for the heater.
Yeah.
We couldn't tell which way it was off and on, so we thought we had it turned off. We took a green propane can, the only thing we could find to hit it with, and we was hitting the top of one of these big ones, trying to beat the
Hey, you guys were live when you did that.
Yeah, I believe it was.
That was the day that it was raining, and you had on that I think it was like a camouflage poncho or something.
Yeah.
See, ask me what I know.
Then after I got home, I think maybe it was later on that afternoon or something, I realized, hey, we were going the wrong way with it.
Yeah.
Look here, I'm gonna even send this to Lance in a message just so he can learn something today.
Settle it.
He thought he was calling somebody out about being wrong, and gonna find out he was wrong.
Lance, you know you can't argue with Cody.
He said he was a certified forklift driver.
Well, I am too. I got my
No, he said
certification.
he used to field propane tanks that were certified or something. Well, they didn't tell you that propane's a gas and becomes more dense in the cold.
No, they probably tell them
They
you're not
probably won't
supposed
have
to
put
do
so much in it
that.
anyway.
No, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to put over 4.5 pounds in those tanks.
That
But
may be the point he's trying to make. Just
no,
because you can do it don't mean you should.
he said false. You can only fill a tank to a certain amount depending on tank size.
If you're a certified person, that's true.
Right, but when you go up to the southern states up here and fill your tanks, where I fill mine, they just fill it until it says it won't hold no more.
Okay, so
And charge you by the weight. And if you go fill one in the summer that's completely empty, it'll hold like 4.2 pounds. You go fill one in the winter, heck, that thing will hold over 5.
but you're not
I
supposed
think
to
you're
put
just
over.
I just think you're taking cans up there that's got some already in it.
No.
I think the point he's trying to make is what you're supposed to put in them, not what you can put in them.
Right, but I'm saying the only issue I ever had was I filled a tank in the winter and didn't use it till it got warm, and because once it got warm, it had more pressure in the tank than it was supposed to have because the warmer wet temperature makes that gas expand. So therefore, it was full in cold weather. It was overly full in warm weather, and it made the regulator freeze up because it's got too much of that cold pressure on it. Because propane, when it turns from a liquid to a gas, is very cold.
Well, yeah. You know how to check a propane tank to see how much it's got in it, don't you?
You can pour hot water on it and see
There you
where.
go. You pour hot water on it, and it'll show you the frost line.
Yeah.
Hey, James Allball's in here, Lee. You said I heard some crazy guy named Lee Evans talking on here.
I just poured hot coffee down the side of this jug, and it's probably over half, 5/8 full.
There you go. So there you go. It works.
Yeah.
Where's Jody? Jody ain't been in here yet. That was Cody.
Yeah, don't call me Jody.
Jody will be fishing later on tonight, probably.
Oh, why do you say that like that, Daddy?
Cause try to
It
sound
is
like
Friday night,
Jody.
ain't it? The Friday Night Live, Outlaw Jody Wells.
What are you doing? Bananas.
Oh.
When's Cannon gonna get here?
Well, Danny, did y'all get your electrical work done today?
But buddy, we ain't gonna be done for months. I've got 7 of those houses to do. I'm talking about completely wire them, everything, every circuit breaker, every receptacle, light, the microwave, the refrigerator, the range. It's a built house from scratch, and I got to put all the wiring in 7 of them. I'm on the 3rd one now. I got 4 to go, plus the one I'm working on.
Well, this summer you take your 2 or 3 days and come up to my house, and I'm gonna pay you to do some electrical work. We'll fish in the nighttime.
Well, I'll come on up there and we'll see what we got.
I mean, I basically know how to do electrical. I am so freaked out over it.
Yeah, that's one of the most dangerous things in the world because you can't see it until it gets you.
Yeah, last time I did any electrical work, me and Tally, before we moved to this house, we had an old house, and it didn't, and we had to replace the main breaker on it.
Yeah,
Well, to replace the main, you got to pull the
you got to pull the meter.
Got to pull
Yeah.
the meter. Well, pull the meter off, replace the main breaker, put the main put the meter back on, and I have no power. I said, I be dang, what's going on here? And the meter had been off for a day, or maybe it was a day and a half, because I pulled it, then pulled the main, tested the main, and seen it was bad, and I had to order it off Amazon. Took like a day and a half to get there.
Yeah.
So called the electric company. I was like, is there something going on? Or I called an electrician. They said, oh, if you pulled it without letting the electric company know, they just shut your power off.
Yeah.
Your house. So I had to call the electric company, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's a big fine if you pull this meter and you're not a licensed electrician. I
Yeah,
said,
you're not allowed to pull the meter, man.
It was going to be $4 for them to come out and change a breaker that, anybody can change a breaker. You take one screw out and it's done. And they cut it back on for me and said, we'll need a inspection done, and brought up there to us. And I never did the inspection. They never said nothing else about it. But yeah, pulled the meter, and they did not like it.
Nope. Well, the reason being for that is anytime you touch that meter, if you go out there and you pull that meter and you get electrocuted, the city's liable. You might have, if you get killed, your wife or somebody might come up there and sue the city because you were stupid and pulled the meter.
Well, they used not to have the computerized shutoffs here, and all the crackheads in town would pull their meters off and stick butter knives in between the.
Yep, dude. I found when I worked for the city here at Mold, I would go around. I would find wrenches. One guy took aluminum foil, a whole roll of it, and took the cardboard out of it and smashed it down with a hammer and pushed that in there with a pair of pliers.
Ask him to die.
Yeah. I've seen them just take big pieces of copper wire and with pliers and shove them in there.
And then there's one fella, they had him on the front page here after they got where they had the computerized systems that once you pulled the meter, they know you pulled the meter.
Yeah.
And they can electronically cut it off at the pole. Well, this guy, heck, he scaled the dang light pole and had been running went up there and hot wired over that and had been running it for several months. And somebody had to come out and work on a wire out there and found it. And they're like, well, I thought we put the end to this.
No, there's always a way around something. I've seen people that would dig up on their water meters. They'd dig up on both sides of the water meter and put a jumper line around the meter pit and then bury it back, and you never know it.
Well, I might have knew somebody that had a key to the old meter locks they put on it, and he would just take his own meter off, put him in a little splice pipe. He got in trouble. He worked for the city too, and got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
About
Well,
lost his job.
the new auto read meters they got, it's got a data chip in there, and they can take a little computer, handheld computer over there to it, and they shine this infrared light on there, and it activates that chip, and it sends all the data back to that handheld computer, and it'll tell you if it was turned off, it was tampered with, how many gallons went through it, when it'll give you date and time and everything that somebody touched it.
Yeah, we still have the analog water meter, which every house in Scottsville now has got the digital electric meter. But we still have the analog water meter. They're just changing them out as they have to work on them. A lot of people have the digital ones, but they don't just go out and change them for no reason. They wait till they actually have to work on the meter.
Well, it's really freaking expensive. They did the whole town here in Malden back when I was working with them, and it took us, I think, 6 months to change out the whole town, and that was 2 crews working constantly.
Right. Yeah, because, I mean, y'all really only work like an hour's worth of work a day. So
pretty much, yeah.
I know how it goes. My father-in-law, he's worked for the city for here in Scottsville for 25, 26 years now. And now he just works at the cemetery. He weed eats at well, I don't know what he does because the jail crew comes out and does the mowing, but he's supposed to do the mowing at the cemetery. They have the jail crew mow. I don't know what he actually does during the day.
Hold on, what's Lee doing?
I'm gonna go back to a slow drift down there. I seem to catch me up here. Just letting it go where the lake takes me.
A slow drift.
He told me.
Yeah, Catfish Biking just came in saying, "Hey y'all."
David,
how you doing, Zach?
He had to have him some contractors because it was last year he had the Amazon Prime truck run through his house.
Who was that?
I think David Smith last year had Amazon Prime truck drive through his house.
Yeah, they put a drive-through in for him.
Just this past weekend, they had a semi on Franklin Road here drive through a person's house. It's kind of a narrow, curvy road, and I guess they come off a hill that happened in the bottom. I guess they come off the hill wide open, and off the road a pretty decent portion. They drove straight through it. Okay, you want me to get off here?
No. What you got, popcorn? Ooh, Lord have mercy. That's nasty.
Well, Leroy, I'm gonna get down from here. Appreciate you letting me come up and hang out. Hey, I hope tonight. Get you a big 85-pounder out of there. You hear? He said he hopes you get to feeling better. What you say?
Thank you.
He said thank you, Lee.
Oh.
All right, buddy.
See you, Danny.
All right, buddy. Get better, Compton.
Thank you.
You should be, Daryl. Well, Daryl, you can hop up here and read chat for him, and I can hop down.
I'm telling you folks now, I can't see nothing in little words or a blur.
No, you ain't missing nothing. It just, people come in. I told you everybody come in and says hi, but the only one talking besides that's Daryl.
I think when they're buried in this mud, they ain't moving. They're just. I'm just having to drag across one of those faces.
Yeah. You know, about the only way you're gonna get them like that if you drag it across their head. Daryl says he can't come up right now. He's working on stuff for the gathering. Yeah. Good Lord, there's no telling what all he's got to get done on that. I wouldn't want to have that chore.
I know.
Could you imagine trying to put all that together?
Hey, I put on a mud race.
Yeah.
It was for charity. I'm gonna tell you what. It is one chore full time.
That's all I'm saying. Man, there is no way I'd want to take that on by myself, putting all that together, what he's doing.
You don't have to come stay up here, Dan. If you need to go ahead, man. It ain't no problem.
Nah, I ain't got to be nowhere.
I just got to let it run. I ain't gonna be here. I got 4 cigarettes left. I ain't. If I get a big one, I'll need 4 cigarettes.
Oh.
But I run off with my fish finder at the house.
Well,
I never take it out of my truck, and I did this time for some reason.
well, if they're buried up in the mud, all it's gonna do is show you where you're at, so you can look at them. But you ain't gonna. You got to drop a hook right on top of their head to get them.
There's a bunch of rattles floating around out here. That's the 3rd one I've seen. Somebody must have had a fish on and break it out. Hung up and broke off.
And David Smith said his wife just got home, so he's gonna check back in on you later.
All right, Dave. Appreciate you coming in, bud.
How long you been out there today?
I don't know. I didn't even leave the house. I don't know. 3 o'clock when I left the house, probably 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So you ain't been out there for a long time.
No, oh, I couldn't find. Well, I didn't have my fish finder. It was hard for me to know where the shad was at. Nowhere in that wind and all that.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, well, they might be in this deep water around these docks and stuff that's out here. And I couldn't get none. So finally, I went back there to where it was about 8 foot deep, and I seen one break the top. But I was cast out there, and I ended up getting about 30 of them.
Really?
Yeah, about 5 or 6 throws. I got enough where I'm gonna take them home, put them in the freezer, so I have some to start with at least next time. But that took me, I know, an hour and a half, 2 hours anyway.
Yeah. I hope I can get out somewhere tomorrow and find some shad or skipjack throwing the net. Last few times I went out, they've just all the spots that are normally at, they've moved out of there. I've got a bunch of frozen ones, but man, they just some of them been in there for a pretty good long time.
Well, I didn't used to think it made that big of a difference, but I'm
Oh, it
looking at
definitely
it
does.
fresh. Always.
That day that me and Richard went out, and man, we were just tearing the fish up. You know, we tripled up twice. We caught 18 catfish and one sturgeon that day, and I mean it was just back to back slamming it. But we started out with frozen bait, and I was catching fish, and Richard wasn't even hardly getting a bite. And he was using the frozen stuff, and I said, man, I'm throwing these little old 3 inch uh, shad on there. They're little baby shad, only 3 or 4 inches long. I said, I'm just throwing them on their hole, and they're just smoking them. And he switched over to them, and all of a sudden, all of our rods started going off.
You know, you can sit out here in the dark in the summertime, and you can flip this light off, and you can hear the shad run. You ever done
Yeah.
that out on the water?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You
And
go
then you
back
look,
up in them little cuts, and
yeah, and you
we'll,
look across the water in the moonlight and the moonbeams and stuff like that, and the water just boiling. Well,
yeah,
now where they at right now?
they'll jump all over the place.
I mean, they got to be in this lake somewhere.
Well, we always find them in big wads. Sometimes 10 feet off the bottom. I mean, we'll find a hole that might be anywhere from 50 to 80 foot deep, and they'll be 10, 15 feet off the bottom almost every time. You'll see this big ball of them. And we tried to throw the cast net on them, but they're right off that main channel in the river. And every time you throw your cast net, the current is so fast that I don't care how much slack you drop to it, that current just closes that net up halfway down, and you can't hardly get them.
That's where you need one of them big nets that's got the tie you a couple of weights around it on different spots.
Yeah.
I seen somebody on the video done that one time. They was talking about trying to throw a cast net in the current, and they went around and tied these weights on. They spread it out on the ground and tied these 6 ounce weights. I don't know, 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. And I can't remember who it was. Somebody was on a live here a while back, and they were talking about live scope, and they said they threw the net in a fast current, and they could actually watch the net close up on the live scope, and they saw what was going on.
Yeah. I watched some guy crappie fishing on a live scope the other day. I tell you what, for that type of fishing, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Dang on them people who live in that house up there got a TV, it's a whole wall. The whole big old nice $500,000 home sitting up there, the whole daggone wall's a TV. I mean, I'm just drifting, trying to keep it straight with the trolling motors. All I'm doing,
Yeah.
bumping it on, keeping it straight. Probably should have run planer board, but just don't do no good here with planer boards in the wintertime. What time is Jody going live?
I'm not
10
sure what
o'clock?
time she was up. I'm not sure. Let me pull it up on my phone, see if I can find out. Because I don't know if anybody else is live besides who does that show on Friday night? Serena and them?
I don't know.
I think so.
9 times out of 10 at nighttime, I'm preparing myself for a good night's sleep.
Well, Jody's live right now, buddy.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, you did just pop over there.
All right, let's do that.
Just pop over on Jody's, and I'll meet you
All
there.
right.
All right, bye.
Bye. See y'all. Thank y'all for coming in.